bike connection. I'm going to be trying to illustrate today how to change the tube for you in case you have a flat. Basically, we're going to try it on a mountain bike today. We're going to start with the front wheel. Basically, you'll have to disconnect your brake. Simply just push on the one arm, the lever, wiggle it, should drop free. I'll try to show that one more time. Let's put it all together real quick. Okay, you're going to compress the one lever with the hinge, pull on the wire, wiggle it, should drop free. Okay, this bike here is equipped with a quick release. Some bikes will have a bolt. You'll have to use a wrench depending on which size bolt it is. We want to remove the wheel from the board. Quick release will basically have a hinge device in there. So about halfway it'll start to tighten on its own. Once you cam it closed, it'll lock it in position. So we'll open it up. This has a nylon lock on the other side here. You'll want to hold that. About 5 turns, 6 turns, should drop the wheel out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift up, wheel should drop out. If your kickstand's up, we'll want to put the kickstand up. Flipping your bike over. That way your bike doesn't get any damage falling over while you're working on the wheel. Let's go around the counter. I'll show you how to do the wheel here. Okay, now that we have the wheel, let me get a little rag here so I don't bang this. Maybe not. Okay. Once we have the wheel off, I'm going to let the air out of this one here to simulate the flat. Take a minute here. Bear with me. Yeah, meantime, I'll let you know what we're doing when I'm letting the air out here. You're going to need a basic couple tools that makes the job a little bit easier. It's called a tire lever. They come in various sizes, shapes. Basically, one side will be a hook to hook the spoke in case it's too tight. The other side is a spoon to lift the edge off the rim. I suggest at least 2, sometimes 3 if they're real tight, but 2 for sure. And I'll show you why. Okay, now that the air is out and we have a simulated flat here. Doesn't matter which side you do it. I'm right-handed, so I work with my right side. If you're left-handed, of course, you'll go the opposite way. Whenever working on a tire tube, best place to start is the valve. It's a stationary position, and you always know where you start and where you finish. I usually put it against my body or on my legs. Take your first hook, put the spoon end in, pull it down, hold it. Take your next one, about 4 inches away. Stick it in, pull it down, then you want to grip and slide. This one can come out after that's done because your lip is off now. So you can use the tool if you want or your hand, just slide it around all the way back to your valve. Okay? Then we're going to want to reach in, pull the old tube out. Turn it back around to the valve. With your fingers, you're going to grip the rim, tire, pulling it back. So we're going to grip it, pull it back. This will expose the tube head so you can pull it out. Okay, we're going to get a brand new tube in a box. Put some air in it so it's formed into a round cylinder. You don't need a big giant balloon, but you want some air in there so it's round, the shape of the tire. We're going to locate the valve again. Again, gripping it with your fingers, pull it back. Insert the valve, wiggle it to make sure it's in straight. Okay, with your fingers again, you're going to lift up and over. So basically, let's see, we're going to push the tube down with our thumb, lifting the tire over the tube. Now, with your fingers, you're going to tuck the tube into the tire. Go all the way around. Tuck that tube up in there. Okay. What we're looking for now is we want to call what they call roll the tube into the rim. If you look into the surface of the rim, there's a hollow area. That's where we want the tube sitting. We don't want it pinched on the outside. We want it sitting in there. So what you're going to do is grab it with your thumbs and then your fingers and just kind of roll it. And that tube will roll into the wheel. Starting away from the valve, we're going to put our thumbs in this position again, and we're going to just simply pinch. Working your way around to the valve. Okay, once we get here, we're about halfway. You're going to actually want to hit this part of your thumb and your palm. And you're going to push and wiggle. See if I can show you. Push, wiggle. Until it goes in. Okay, once we have the tube back in the tire, we're going to pull the valve back out and then back in. What you're doing is making sure the tube is in the tire and not on the edge of the rim. Once we have that, we're going to apply a little air. Grab your hand pump. I'm going to come around the other side here. We're going to grab our hand pump. We're going to put it on our valve. Pull the lever to lock it on there. And then we're going to apply some air. This thing will max out probably about 65 pounds. I'm going to start about 30, 35, just so it's soft and you can move it a little bit. And what we're going to do is disconnect it. And then if you come up a little close, I can try to show you. Most tires will have a little line right here. This is called the bead line. This is where the tire grabs this edge of the rim as it gets pressure. So what we're doing is we're going to check it. Roll it around. If it's a little low, you're going to move it up. If it's a little too high, you just pinch and push it down. But we're going to try to make it all pretty much even, all the way around. Check both sides. Looks good. I can see a little line, see a little line, see a little line. Just give it a squeeze. Once we know we're in the bead, fill it up to pressure. Again, we're going to apply our hose. Clamp it on. Clamp it on, so it'll go this way. Up to pressure, 65 pounds. Give it a check, make sure it feels pretty good. Alright, once we're up to 65 pounds, we're going to release the nozzle. Back this way. Check it one more time, make sure the line still looks good all the way around on both sides. And then we'll put our valve cap back on. Right here. Okay, if your bike's flipped upside down, we can still put the wheel on. I'll show you how to do that. Basically what I look for is the nylon button on the same side as the rear. So it's on this side. We'll make sure this one is on this side. Therefore, they're both the same. Okay, again, what do we count? 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still need a little bit more? Give it a couple little turns. About halfway, it should start to tighten. Line it up, just squeeze. Wheels locked in there. Okay, now we can flip it back over onto its feet. Put our kickstand on. And then over here again, we're going to reconnect our front brake. Again, you're going to grab the wire, push your finger towards the brake, and wiggle it. Should drop in. If the spring pops, just put the spring behind the little notch. Just like that. Brake will work. You're ready to ride. Okay? Now we're going to the hard part, the back wheel. Okay. Let's bring the bike around so I can show you. Whenever doing the rear wheel with gears, you're going to want to put it in the smallest gear in the back, smallest gear in the front. Reason being, you want to eliminate biting the chain, putting the wheel in and out. Also, you know where you started. Small gear, small gear. Again, disconnect our brake. This one's obviously in the wrong gear, so we're going to release all the gears down to the smallest. Lean the bike on the kickstand if you have one, otherwise you have to pick it up. Get to the smallest gear. Okay, again, we have a quick release in the back. We're going to release it. What number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How to release the pressure. Lift your bike, one little pop. We'll disconnect it from the dropout. For the rear wheel, you're going to have to pull it off the rear wheel. Okay, let's do it this way so I can show you a little bit better. We're going to lay the bike down for a minute. Okay, once the wheel's out, you're going to have to remove the chain, usually by lifting it off the wheel. Okay? Now you can leave it lay there, it's not going to hurt anything. Same process we did with the front wheel. It's already flat, 2 tire irons. If you're right-handed, you go this way, left-handed, this way. Same process as before. Check the tire, implant the tube, make sure the tube's in the wheel. Pinch it around, put some air on, check the bead, process done. Now to reapply the wheel. Lay your wheel down, gears up like it came out. You're going to slide it in. You're going to find the top of the chain. This is the bottom, this is the top. You're going to make sure the top chain, this goes top. The rest of the chain will be on the bottom, so we'll slide it in. Putting the chain on the bottom gear, right there, just like that. And once it's lined up, we can stand the bike up. Okay, the weight of the bike should drop it into the dropout once you line up the gear. If it has a little loop like that, don't worry, that'll straighten out as you turn the crank. You're in the gear, it's in the dropout. That's the main thing. Okay, now that we have it standing on its wheels again, it's not tight yet, but it's standing. So let's put our kickstand down. So now we can work with our other hands. Okay, in the back again, quick release. Halfway will be tight. So about 5 turns. 4, 5. Starts to tighten up about halfway. Close it with your hand the rest of the way. Just pinch it. Solid. Reapply your brake, just like the front. Grab the wire, flip the little lever towards the wire, wiggle, drops in. Maybe a little tricky at first, but once you get it, you'll be a professional. It doesn't take long. Now, because the chain's all loose when you did it, you're going to have to spin the tire to get the chain to realign. So we'll pick it up, and you'll spin it. And the chain should go back on. Okay, this one has a little brake rub, so that means that the dropout isn't totally in there. So we'll wiggle it, open it up, wiggle it, tighten it down again. Check your brake. Should spin. Your gears should roll. You're ready to ride. Any problems? Come by the Bike Connection to see us or your local bike shop. Thank you very much. Have a good day.